Very good evening to all of you. Friends, I strongly believe you all are fine and doing good at your respective places. Friend, this is a fourth lecture in order to cover the chapter number 8. We are studying the chapter number 8, which is related to the performance measurement and performance evaluation. Prior to move further and discuss the agenda for today's class, let me quickly recapitulate for you that what we already understand or covered in the previous 4 lectures. Okay. So friends, when we started the chapter number 8, we acknowledge this particular fact that in order to manage the performance, we need to measure the performance and evaluate the performance so that we can know how we are performing right now and where we need to move. So we started chapter number 8 by understanding the 4 various forms of organization structure. Then thereafterward, we studied the responsibility accounting and different form of responsibility center. Then thereafterward, we studied this thing in the previous 2 lectures that the measure which we use can be financial performance indicator or can be non-financial performance indicator in order to measure the performance. The indicator which we use in order to measure the performance can be financial performance indicator, can be non-financial performance indicator. What are the sort of the financial indicator? Profit, sale, and value. Whereas, what are the non-financial profit indicator? Customer satisfaction, market share, employee satisfaction, then the standardized operating procedure, number of trademark patent you have, intellectual property rights. These are your non-financial performance indicators. If any organization has a satisfied customer, repeated customer, obviously it is performing better than the other or the competitors. Now, the question arises, which of the indicator is good? If you want to be profitable only, FPI are good. But if you want to be sustainable, you need to focus upon the both. So if you are using the pure financial tools that only focus upon the FPI, such as ROI, return on investment, RI, residual income, EVA, then no doubt you are checking your profitability, you are checking the value of the asset, but you are ignoring these important elements, which is also essential in order to sustain for a longer period. Then what you need to do? You need to, rather than using these tools, you must use either the balance scorecard, the performance pyramid, the building block, the performance prism, or triple bottom line. We already covered the balance scorecard in previous class. The agenda for today's class is to cover these 4 tools: the performance pyramid, building block, the performance prism, and triple bottom line. Minimally 3 we cover. If the time permit us, we'll no doubt go to the 4th one as well. But if the time don't permit us, we'll at least cover these 3. And I have a question for you on each of these techniques in order to apply what we learn. Okay. So with this, let me go to the notes. Very good evening to all of you. Very good evening, Chavi. So friends, these are the notes which are already available with you. I strongly believe that you downloaded these notes from the download section. Agreed? If any of friend not having the notes, no worry. You just need to pay attention to the screen. Those who are viewing it through the YouTube, you need to pay attention to the screen. You'll get the concept in a very well. Okay, friends? Friends, prior to reading about the performance pyramid from the notes which are available in front of you, I wish to take you to the research article which is written by 2 gentlemen, Mr. Cross and Mr. Lynch, who gave the performance pyramid. The topic related to performance pyramid is given on page number 8.18 to 8.20 of the old study material, page number 8.28 to 8.30 of the revised study material. But let me take you to this particular research paper. Friends, there was an organization, the name of organization was Wang Laboratories Limited or INC, because it's a USA based company. So it was Wang Laboratories INC. That particular company want to improve the performance. So they hire a consultancy firm, and the consultant of consultancy firm was Mr. Cross, and Lynch was senior finance manager of the Wang Laboratories. When they apply the performance measurement tool, then they realize it is very difficult to obtain the corporate objective just by defining the corporate vision. Hence, apart from defining the corporate vision and the corporate mission, we must have some sort of way out, some sort of model, so that we can attain the corporate objective. So on the page number 3 of this research paper itself, both the gentlemen suggest a model or a tool, and that model or a tool itself become famous as performance pyramid, which is in front of you. Okay, so I hope you can see this particular diagram, which is suggested by two gentlemen, and the name of the gentlemen are Cross and Mr. Lynch. Now let's start discussing about this further on, what they stated in this particular paper. That is all what is mentioned in your study material. So I'll tell you this thing in the form of the story. So let's first listen a story about the performance pyramid so that you can understand about the concept, and then we'll move to the notes, and then we'll move to the question. Okay. So friends, what Mr. Cross suggests, who is a consultant, what he suggests, that just by writing down the corporate vision, you can't obtain the corporate objective. In order to obtain the corporate objective, you need to break down the corporate objective into the operational objectives, so that whensoever any person perform task in the organization, he must know what he is doing and how it will help him to attain the corporate vision or corporate objective. So that he must know how he is adding value to the corporate to attain its objective. Agreed? Now further, what they witnessed during the 3-month application of performance measurement at Wang Laboratories, that in order to achieve corporate vision, the strategies need to be developed. And those strategies need to be developed at the strategic business unit level. At which level the strategy need to be developed? At the strategic business unit level. And the strategy need to be developed for the marketing and for the finance. They feel if your finances are good and if your customer is happy, then you can obtain your corporate objective. Otherwise not. Hence, they specifically mention that you need to build or formulate the strategies for both the market as well as the finance related strategies. Agreed? Now moving a step further. How you will improve or attain the market related strategy, how you will improve your market presence, how you will increase your market share. Obviously, the key is what? The key is customer satisfaction. What is the customer satisfaction? Meeting the need of the customer. How you will meet the need of the customer? By giving them the quality product, which is free from defect. How you will meet the need of the customer? By delivering the goods as and when they require, in the manner they require. For example, I ordered the bouquet to some floral shop, but I wish to send that bouquet to my friend on his birthday. So I gave him the address of my friend, but I gave the billing address of mine. But what that man did, he wrongly sent the bill there and sent the bouquet to me. So is he able to deliver the goods in the manner in which I wish? No, not at all. Taken another example, you book some article from the Amazon and Amazon delivered the goods within the time, but the goods delivered to you was damaged. Is it delivered in a good way or a form? Answer is no. So customer will not be satisfied. So you need to see how the customer will be satisfied, and in order to ensure that customer will be satisfied, you need to ensure there must be quality in your product or the service, and you deliver the product or service in the manner in which the customer wish. Okay, friend, now moving step further. How you will ensure your finances are correct? How you can be a cost-effective leader? How you can earn a great amount of margin? There are two ways to earn good amount of margin. One, reduce cost or do the maximum sale. Maximum sale covers here. So here only one alternate left, that is reducing the cost. How you will reduce the cost? Obviously by increasing your productivity. What is basically a productivity? Productivity is nothing but the amount of resources you use in order to produce the goods or render the service. So what you need to do? You need to improve your productivity. What does it mean? Use the same amount of resources to create more services or goods, or use the less amount of resources to create the same number of goods or the services. I hope you get what is the productivity means basically. Now the question arises, how the productivity will improve? Either by reducing the process time or by controlling the cost. Friends, mind it, in the original model given by Cross and the Lynch, they write the word cost. In the year 1989, they wrote this particular article. But 3 years after, they wrote book as well in the year 1992. When they gave this model in the book, instead of word cost, they write here waste. So don't get confused. My friend, those who are studying this concept from the old study material, there the year 1992 is written. There they didn't mention the year 1989, but it was given as a research paper in year 1989. Later on, they wrote a book in year 1992 in which they changed this particular thing. They make this thing as a waste. Now, let me explain the cost and the waste for you. What is the waste basically? The waste is the unproductive output. And how Cross and the Lynch explain the cost? They say cost means additional cost which you incur than what you should be. तो उनका तो यहाँ पे कॉस्ट लिखने का मतलब ही वेस्ट लिखना था, लेकिन उन्होंने पहले वर्ड कॉस्ट लिख दिया, लेटर ऑन दे चेंज द वर्ड टू द वेस्ट. बट यू शुड नॉट बी कंफ्यूज्ड. हियर दे सिंपली मींस आपको यहाँ पे वेस्ट क्रिएट नहीं करना है, नीदर द वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम नॉट द वेस्ट ऑफ द मटेरियल. एग्रीड? सो let me tell you one more thing prior to consolidate this knowledge. This says vision is usually mentioned at the corporate level. They says these strategies are developed at strategic business unit level. They says these customer satisfaction, productivity, and flexibility need to be ensured or enhanced at business operating service level. This is these four things: quality enhanced, delivery improved, processing time reduced, waste reduced, must be ensured at department level. But many of things is not clear to you. Now let me tell you with the help of an example. Tata Motor explain its vision. Tata Motor has two divisions, passenger vehicle and commercial vehicle. So that will become SBU. Then under the passenger vehicle, they have different plant, Pantnagar plant, then the Saran plant, they will become their BOS. Then further, At each plant, they have different department. In each of the department, like in the production department, like in the store department, what they wish to do? They wish to enhance the quality. They wish to enhance the delivery process. They wish to enhance the, you can say that efficiency by reducing the processing time and by reducing the waste. One thing we left to explain, that is the flexibility. Let me explain it to you what the flexibility basically means. Flexibility means ability to change in order to respond the change in the need of the customer or of the previous division or the other division. For example, if you are rendering some services to some particular person or the customer who come to you in your office, as being a chartered accountant, you are rendering the services, he comes to you. Your master area is taxation, but he requests you, let me help or give me your help or give me your advices in order to fetch a loan from the bank. Although that is not your expert area, but still you do in order to retain that customer. That is a flexibility. There may be another example of flexibility. The customer placed the order to you for a 10,000 unit, but suddenly his demand increases. So he says, provide me or send me another 2,000 unit. You agreed to him. Okay, you will provide another 2,000 unit. So this is called flexibility. Flexibility basically means how quickly you can modify in order to meet the need of the customer. कितनी जल्दी आप अपने आप को मोल्ड कर लेते हैं ताकि आप कस्टमर की नीड को समझ सकें और उसकी नीड को फुलफिल कर सकें. Agreed? Now, friend, understand one more thing here. Then afterward, I'll consolidate this model for you. Okay. These features, be it the quality, be it the delivery, be it the processing time, or be it the waste, these are need to be obtained at the day-to-day operational level. Whosoever perform the operation need to ensure that there must be quality in the thing what he is doing. He need to ensure the time taken by him must be less than what he earlier used to spend. He must not waste anything. For example, even a photocopier person is there in the big office, he must ensure the number of the waste pages which left out after photocopying a particular number of the pages or a particular file shall be less in comparison to the earlier. अगर पहले वो 1000 पेज की फाइल फोटोकॉपी करता था and the 10 pages usually get wasted, he need to reduce it over the time. Agreed? I hope you get it now. Now capture few technical things, but prior to that, let me consolidate this particular model for you. Basically, performance pyramid says you could not get the vision in itself. You need to cut down the vision into the strategy. The moment you cut down your vision or break down your vision into the strategy, you know you need to focus on the area which is specified by the strategy. And what are those three areas? Customer satisfaction, flexibility, and productivity. Agreed? Now, in order to obtain all these three, what you need to do? You need to ensure quality, you need to do proper delivery, you need to reduce the process time or the cycle time, you need to reduce the wastages. Agreed? Now, friends, learn the technical thing which will be tested in the question paper. The first thing, you can see here, this model basically focused only upon the two things. What is the first thing this model focused upon? The first thing this model focused upon is the market, means the customer. And the second thing this model focused upon is the finances. It means this part of the model deals with the customer, means the stakeholder who is outside the organization. But whereas this side of the model deals with the finances which is inside the organization. So Cross and the Lynch says this model has two dimensions. One, external effectiveness, how effective you are in order to meet the demand of your customer. Second, internal efficiency, how efficient you are in order to produce the goods or the services which you are need to render. Agreed? So the first point which you need to learn, this model helps to cover both internal and external business environment. Agreed? I hope the first thing is clear. Second element which you need to write. What is that? Look, the two words written are here, objectives and the measures. If you see what I mentioned, that corporate objective or the corporate vision need to be break down into the strategy pertaining to the market and finance. Then further, those strategy need to be focused on the three areas: the customer specification or satisfaction, then flexibility, then productivity. It means the flow of objective is downward. Corporate objective के टुकड़े कर दिए, operating objective में बांट दिया, so that each person in the organization, each department in the organization, each division in the organization must know what they are for and what they need to do in order so that the total, in totality, the company attain the objectives. Agreed? Now moving further, the second thing which is mentioned here, the second word which is mentioned here, that is the measures. Measures means the measure of performance through which the performance will be measured. How those measures will support to attain the corporate vision. The flow of measure is upward. You are attaining the quality, but by attaining the quality, you are satisfying the customer, which will help you to enhance your market share, which will finally help you to achieve or attain your vision. So the flow of measure is upward, but whereas the flow of objective is downward. This will become your second point, and this thing is given in the study material as test your understanding. The objective flow is upward, but whereas the flow of measure is downward. Agreed? Now, friend, one more element, but that is a negative element. That is not a praise of the model. That is a demerit of the model. What is the demerit of the model? The demerit is it only consider two stakeholders. It don't consider all the stakeholders. Which are the two stakeholders it consider? The first, customer, and the second is the shareholder, because it considers the finances and it considers the market share, means the customer. I hope the model is clear to you. Once the model is finalized, the Cross and the Lynch says this model, if applied by any company, then we say that company has a smart way to improve the performance. Now, what is the full form of the SMART? The full form of SMART is strategic measurement analysis and reporting technique. You need not to remember this name, although this name is mentioned in your study material. So that's why I just explained the name. Otherwise, you need not to remember it. I hope the model is clear to you. Now we are moving to the notes. We'll read the notes and then we'll solve the question of SBC LLP, which is given in your study material. Okay, let me take you to the notes. So these are your lecture notes. Let's quickly read the lecture notes along with me, friends. What they mention? That KF Cross, who was the consultant, and RL Lynch, who was the senior finance manager of the company, in the year 1989, published an article. What was the name of article? The Smart Way to Define and sustain the success. In this article, they suggest strategic measurement analysis and reporting technique. This was the name of technique which they suggest. But this technique is a nothing, just a model. And what is the popular name of the model? The popular name of the model is performance pyramid. Now the question arises, why pyramid? Due to its shape. You can see the shape along with me. At the top, it has a thin shape because there is only one element, the vision. But at the bottom, there are the 4 dimensions of the performance. Quality is a dimension of performance. Delivery is a dimension of performance. Performance time or process time or the cycle time is a dimension of the performance, or the cost which you incur in the form of wastages. That is the dimension of the performance. So the base is wider, whereas the top is the thinner. Hence, it's create a shape of what? It create a shape of the prism. So that's why the name given to model by the 2 gentlemen is performance prism. Due to the 4 hierarchy level. What are those 4 hierarchy level? You already understand the 4 hierarchy level along with me. This is the corporate level, the head office. This is the strategic business unit level. Okay. Like in the case of the Tata Motor, we took the example of the passenger vehicles, of the commercial vehicle. They are doing good in the commercial vehicle and they are trying to do good in the passenger vehicle. Further, this is their individual plant for which the strategy need to be made, and this is their department. Agreed? The different car they are making in the each plant. Obviously, in the each plant, the different car they are manufacturing, the waste generated by each model will be different. Hence, the waste need to be analyzed at the departmental level. So that's why they mention that performance pyramid due to the 4 hierarchy. So we understand the 4 hierarchy levels as well. Now reading next paragraph. The attractiveness of this framework is that it integrates the business strategic objective with the operational performance dimension that we already studied. Consider the internal efficiency vis-a-vis external effectiveness. That is what we already studied. Further, performance pyramid contain the hierarchy of the financial and non-financial. Financial, it is very clearly mentioned on the right hand side. Non-financial on the left hand side in the form of market. Non-financial performance measure. And what are the non-performance measure? It consider the quality and delivery. What are the financial measure? It consider the time which you take, because the time, if more, cycle time is more, then the cost will be more. Otherwise, the cost will be less. Okay. So these are the 4 levels which is explained in front of you. Let's read these 4 levels. Basically, what I tried to do, I tried to explain how the corporate vision can be achieved by attaining the operating strategy. The link is tried to be established. Read the level number 1 along with me. Through corporate vision, organization define how the long-term success it will attain. Obviously, the vision statement is a long-term statement. Okay. The level number 2, in order to obtain such vision, which you explain in the level number 1, the initial focus is on attainment of critical success factor related to market and finance at the SPU level or at the division level. That is what we studied, that in order to attain the vision, what we need to do, we need to make the strategy. But our strategy is only for the 2 domain. What are those 2 domain? Market and function. And itself, it becomes the limitation of the model that it only focus the customer and the shareholder. It don't focus the other stakeholders. Okay. Further, the level number 3, the market and financial strategies become guiding force to achieve the strategic objective, which include the customer satisfaction, increased flexibility, and high productivity. That we already explained. There are 3 things: customer satisfaction, flexibility, and productivity. Let me explain these 3 again for you in a one line. Customer satisfaction means whether customer willing to buy the same product again from you or not, whether he has a good experience from your product or not, because one satisfied customer will bring you 10 new customer, and one unsatisfied customer cause a loss of the 100 customer to you. Okay. Now the second thing, increased flexibility. What does it mean, increased flexibility? That you must be this much capable. If on the last moment customer wish to do some customize in his product or the service which you are rendering to him, you able to do so. Okay, whether it's an increase in the number, increase in the feature of the product, or reduction in the feature of the product, or reduction in the number of order. Agreed. Further, high productivity. What does it mean, high productivity? Using the same set of the resources but produce more goods or services. Now, level 4. The operational performance dimensions such as the quality, delivery, cycle time, and waste will be used as a status check against the strategic objective designated at number 3. In order to see the customer satisfaction, what you will check? The quality of your product and the delivery time. In order to see the productivity, what you will check? The cycle time, means the time you spend in order to manufacture a good, and the waste you generate. Agreed? फ्रेंड्स, अब यहाँ पे एक ऐसी बात बता दूं जो एग्जाम में आपको बहुत मदद करेगी. What is that? The quality and the delivery need to be enhanced, whereas the cycle time and wastage need to be reduced. Agreed? So you need to remember this thing. External effectiveness will be improved if we enhance the quality or enhance the delivery experience by reducing the time to deliver the product. But we will improve the internal efficiency by reducing the cycle time. Word reducing is very important. And by reducing the waste we generate. Agreed? एक बार जल्दी से रिवाइज कर लीजिए मेरे साथ. Corporate vision need to be divided into the strategy, and the strategy will be mentioned for 2 elements. What are those 2 elements? Market and finance. Then further, in order to obtain the strategy, we need to focus on the 3 things. What are those 3 things? Customer satisfaction, flexibility of our processes, and the productivity which we enjoy in our factory. Now, in order to ensure that these 3 must be attained, what are the 4 operational objectives which we need to fulfill? Quality must be high, delivery must be on time, cycle time must be reduced, waste must be reduced. I hope the model is clear to you. Okay, now read the caution and then we'll move into the question. There is a caution given, or the critical consideration mentioned. Performance prism concentrate only on 2 category of stakeholder: the shareholder in the form of the finances and the customer. It don't consider the other stakeholder. It become a major limitation of performance pyramid. Sorry, here the word prism is raised. Okay. Okay. So it is a major problem with the performance pyramid. Now let's read the question. This question is given in the both your new study material as well as old study material. In the old study material, this is given on the page number 8.19. In the new study material, it is given on the page number 8.29. So all my friends who are available with me online, please ready with your calculator, because you need to do certain calculation for me. I need your support. Okay. Read the question. You are paid assistant working in SBC LLP, an accounts consultancy firm. So you are a chartered accountant or semi-qualified chartered accountant who is working as a paid assistant in some accounting consultancy firm. You have received the following email from one of the senior partner of your accounting firm. It is addressed to you. So read DG as your name. This is the name of the senior partner. This is the date when you get the mail. This is the subject, PEL meeting this afternoon. It means right now it's morning, and in the afternoon, after 4 hours, after 5 hours, there is a meeting going to head regarding PEL. Now, what is PEL? We need to understand. What further mentioned in the question? As you are probably aware, we are meeting with the managers of PEL later this afternoon to discuss the several key issues. And I need you to do some research for me. So your partner of the firm, not you. So the partner of the firm expecting from you, you'll do some homework for him. I need a report that cover the following analysis of the new proposal for the period 2019 to 2021 based upon external effectiveness and internal efficiency. The moment you read two words, the model which come to your mind is what? That is the performance pyramid. Because external effectiveness is nothing but the left hand side of the model, which is talk about the market. And internal efficiency is nothing but the right hand side of the model, which talk about the finances. How about the market? You can improve your performance by giving quality product, and secondly, ensuring delivery must be on time and in the manner in which consumer want. How you will improve your internal efficiency, your finances, by incurring less cost? How you will do that? By reducing the cycle time and by reducing the waste. So two things you need to improve or enhance. Two things you need to reduce in order to get external effectiveness and internal efficiency. Agreed? So easy question. Read further on along with me. So he gave you the hint of the model here. To help you with this, I have attached a copy of our forecast of the PEL financial and non-financial data. Because it's a accounting firm, so they may prepare the 3-year or the 5-year forecast for the company, but now the company wish to know how its performance will be based upon the forecasted data. Basically, they need a report. They could not understand the number. They could not understand the forecasted data. CMA data, they're not able to understand the client. So client asks you for the report. So partner asking you as being assistant to provide him the report. So he can read your report and narrate it to the customer. Further, for the period 2019 and 2021, please read it carefully. The email me back as soon as possible, so I have a time to prepare before the meeting. So he is asking you, don't delay up till the late afternoon. In the afternoon, there is a meeting. Send it me pre-noon so that I must also prepare further. Thanks and the name of partner. Now read the attachment very carefully, because all the data in order to solve the question is given in the attachment itself. Okay. Let's read. Precision Engineering Limited, PEL. This is nothing but the name of client. Specializes in the engineering design and manufacture in the automobile and motor sport industry. The PEL design team has many years experience in design and development of the engine component for the market and the high performance engines. The PEL has identified the number of key competitors and intend to emphasize on close cooperation with its customer. It means it willing to focus on the market dimension of the performance. Why? Because PEL has identified number of key competitors. Because they know that there are the competitors who can substitute the product which is sold by PEL. So they try to do the close cooperation with their customer. It means they want to focus on the market which they have. Further, in providing the products to meet the specific engineering design and the quality requirement. So you yourself get the two words here. One, the design, and another is the quality, although both related to the quality. Further, the effort will be made to improve the effectiveness of all aspects of the cycle. Cycle what? The cycle of the production of the product. Production cycle time. MCE, manufacturing cycle efficiency. He wished to improve it. What is the MCE? MCE is nothing but the process time divided by total cycle time. And they wish that their process time in ratio to the total cycle time must be more. It means they spend more time on the value-added activities rather than the non-value-added activities. Further, from the product design to the after-sales services to customer. This will require the data from the number of departments in the achievement of the specific goal of the new proposal. The efforts will be made to improve the productivity in conjunction with increased flexibility of the method. So this is mentioned that you'll try to enhance your flexibility, not only increasing your productivity and focusing on the customer satisfaction, you are also working on the flexibility. So you can see all the term, all the you can say nomenclature which we studied in this model, performance pyramid, that is purely applicable to this particular question. Okay. Further, the forecast PEL financial and non-financial data. Why financial? Because the right hand side, that is internal efficiency. Why non-financial? Left hand side, which is the market, that is the external effectiveness. Okay. Now read the data along with me. What is given to you? The total market size in all the 3 years given to you. The PEL sales is given to you. What you can do with this? You can identify the relative market share. Further, the total cost is given to you. If you reduce the cost from the sale, you can compute the margin. Hence, you can also compute the gross profit ratio or gross margin ratio or the margin ratio. Further, the production achieving design and quality standard. It means quality related data given to you. What is your success rate? 95.95%. What is your success rate here? 98. It means you are improving your quality. You are enhancing your quality. Return from customer. Another parameter to assess whether your customer is satisfied with you or not. Agreed? So this thing is also given to you. So this will also become the feature of your quality. Further, the cost of after sales services. Then the sales meeting planned delivery date. What does it mean? Sales meeting planned delivery date. That is nothing but related to your delivery. How good you are in delivering the product. Okay. Further, average cycle time. This data is also given to you. You need to reduce it, and it is actually you can say get reduced from 5 to 4 weeks. Then further, the components scrapped in the production means the wastage. You can say that improving on the wastage. Then the ideal machine capacity. You can see the data here. Now, what you need to do? Draft the email as requested by the partner. You need to assess the 4 things here based upon the data given to you. What are the 4 things you need to assess? The quality, then the delivery, then the cycle time, whether you are spending more time or less time, you are improving or not. Last but not the least, wastage. If you improve on these 4 operational parameters, it means you are performing good. But if you are not improving on these 4 performance parameters, it means you are not performing good. Now, move further in order to solve the question along with me. Okay. Friends, according to the performance pyramid, which we just studied, let me quickly revise again. We can measure the performance at operational level based upon the 4 parameters. What are those parameters? Quality, delivery, cycle time, then waste. But if we need to measure the performance at SBU level, what are the 2 things which can be used in order to measure the performance? The market share which we are having and the profitability which we are having. Market share becomes the representative of left hand side, which is nothing but the market, and profitability becomes the representative of right hand side of the model, which is nothing but the financial perspective or financial performance. Agreed? Now start doing computation along with me. You need to tell me, firstly we'll see the operational level performances, because he asked us to do what? He asked us to tell whether the external effectiveness there is not, whether the internal efficiency is there or not. How we come to know that external effectiveness there? If the quality is improving, delivery process is improving, then external effectiveness is there. Otherwise, external effectiveness is not there. If the cycle time is reduced, waste is reduced, then internal efficiency is there. Otherwise, internal efficiency is not there. Now, friend, you need to tell me whether the quality improves or not. Let's read the 4th information given in the question. What is given? The production achieving design quality standard. Means how many goods, how many number of product meet the quality standard. In the year 2019, 95.5% of goods meet the production standard or quality standard. But in the year 2021, 98.5% of goods start meeting the quality standard. Whether your quality improved or diminished. Quickly respond in the query link. Whether your quality enhances or diminish. I'm waiting for your responses, my friends. Quickly answer. Those of my friends who are online, quickly answer. Shall we read the data carefully? Anjali, absolutely correct. Good. Quality enhances. This is the data for year 2019. How many of your product meet the standard? 95.5%. It means how much is the wastage? 4.5%. Here, how many of your product meet the quality standard? 98.5. Means wastage is how much? The wastage is only 1.5. Whether your quality improves or reduces because you are generating less waste, it means your quality improves. Take an example. If you are manufacturing the cake, here you are manufacturing 95.5 cake according to the order. Here you are producing or manufacturing 98.5 cakes according to the order. So here your quality is basically what? The need of the customer. Here you are meeting the need of customer 98.5 times. Here you are meeting the need of the customer only 95.5 times. Raman, absolutely correct. Quality enhanced. Ravi Teja enhances. Leela enhances. Emma enhances. Jayasee enhances. Very good. All are correct. So the first thing which we notice here, the quality improves. Quality improves here. Now study the second factor. Return from the customer. Please listen a small story prior to moving into the detail. If we manufacture a defective product and in the inspection or through inspection, we identify that product has some defect, we stop it inside the factory gate. We don't send it to the customer because otherwise it harms our reputation. We try to rework on the unit so that unit become in such a manner or come in such a situation, it can be sold as a standard unit. We don't sell the substandard unit. It is against the quality policy of the company. Usually, it may be possible some of the companies sell the substandard product in some else geographical market, dump somewhere else. Second thing, if we send it to the customer and customer identify there is some defect, then the improvement which we do is known as repair. So if inside the factory gate we identify there is some defect and we try to remove that defect, then there is rework. But if once the unit is sold and the customer tells us there is some problem and we do the improvement, then it is repair. So it may possible if the product developed with some certain defects, then the customer return back the goods to us. The moment he return back goods to us, we come to know that the good which we manufacture is not of the good quality. Is not of a good quality. It means the return from customer is a signal of what? The return from customer is nothing but the signal of the quality. Jitni zyada return, quality utni ghatiya. The number of return, if less, it means our product is of good quality. So you need to see whether the returns are increasing or decreasing. In the year 2019, if I sell 100 unit, 2 unit come back to me. It means only 98 unit accepted by the customer. They are good. But here only 0.5 unit come back to me. It means 99.5 unit accepted by the customer. It means here the defect-free unit are 98. Here the defect-free unit are 99.5. Now tell me, quality improves or decrease quickly? I'm waiting for your response. Quality improves or declines? Quickly, my friends, quickly send me the answer. Okay, in the meantime, when you send the answer, because I feel that it took time to refresh the this query portal as well. Okay. I got many answers. Improve. Good. Hema, you explained very well. Hema from Chennai. She mentioned the reason as well. Good. Very good. All are good. Done. So quality improves here as well. Very much fine. Now see the next indicator or the measure. Measure is what? Cost of after sale services. Friend, the word delivery is wider than the logistic. Logistic only include delivery, physical delivery of the product to the customer. But delivery has a wider meaning. Delivery and it ends when you gave him after sale demonstration. Agreed? So friends, the cost of after sale services shall be considered as a measure or the indicator to measure the delivery. How much of the cost you need to incur to let the customer understand about the feature of the product. Although one can argue, sir, after sale services की जरूरत तब पड़ी होगी जब product की quality अच्छी नहीं, तो that is fine. But in the practice, after sale services are nothing but part of the delivery of the product. You deliver the product, then you ask customer, share your experience. You deliver the washing machine to the customer, then you ask customer, are you able to handle it, or we give you a demonstration. You sell the dish, TV and Tina to the customer and ask customer, do we need to install it for you or not? And if they say, okay, you need to install it, you sell the AC, you ask, do you have electrician to do the installation or we do the installation for you? They ask you, okay, do the installation, then it become after sales service. Agreed? So it's a part of the delivery. Delivery has very wider meaning than the logistic. Okay. So see here, the cost of after sales services was 1.3 lakh in 2019. Here the cost incurred by you is only 1 lakh. It means either the team which render after sales services become effective, or you start giving the user menu or manual. People, after seeing the user manual, start operating the goods which you sold by themselves. You need not to train them, you need not to demonstrate them. So whether your delivery function enhances or not, whether it improves or not, just quickly answer me. पहले 1.3 लाख रुपए इंकर करने पड़ते थे ताकि लोगों को समझ आ जाए प्रोडक्ट यूज कैसे करना है, आप सही तरीके से उसको डिलीवर करने के बाद उसकी यूटिलिटी लोगों को समझा पाओ. अब सिर्फ 1 लाख रुपए इंकर करना पड़ता है. So whether your delivery improves or not, now you need to spend less money, but you can see here, but you are making more sale. You are making sale here of 23 lakh. Earlier you was making only sale of 18 lakh. Your sale increase multifold, but your after sale services reduces, after sale cost reduces. So whether you improves or not, quickly send me the answer. Improves, good, very good. Chavi, Anjali, Hema, Jayashri, very good. So here the delivery function also improves or become better. Now the next parameter, sales meeting planned delivery date. Here 85% of the order you deliver on time. Here you are delivering 95% of the order on time. Whether you are keep on improving your commitments regarding the delivery date or not, whether the delivery enhances or not, quickly answer. Quickly answer whether you are improving on the delivery part or not. Good. Delivery improved. Awareness increase in the customer. Raviteja, well done. Brilliant explanation. Good. So delivery improves here, friends. In the nutshell, if I need to conclude these 4 parameters or 4 measures of performance, what I'll say? External effectiveness enhances. So performance of PEL is improving. Agreed? So we answer the one part to the question. What was that one part? Whether the external effectiveness improves or not. So while writing back the mail, what you will write? Sir, the data given by you in the annexure I studied, and based upon these 4 measures, I identify both the quality of the product or the service which we are rendering, means the PEL rendering, or the delivery function of the PEL is improving, hence external effectiveness is improving. I hope it is clear. Wow, good. Anjali, good. Chavi, well done. Enhances. Improved delivery. On-time delivery is a sign. Hema, well done. Explanation is also fun. Good. So now, friends, move to the internal efficiency. The first parameter of internal efficiency. What is that? Average cycle time. Let me tell you about cycle time. I hope my senior fellow faculty already teach you this concept. But again, I am teaching you so that you can answer me this question. Okay? The purpose to teach you this concept is only to make you, you can say that aware or make you comfortable while answering this particular question. नहीं तो वो cover हो चुका है already. What is the cycle time basically? cycle time can be categorized into the two categories. Manufacturing cycle time, which is also known as operating cycle time, or other can be delivery cycle time. What is the difference between the two? Delivery cycle time starts from the date of order and run until you deliver the product. But manufacturing or operating cycle time starts when you start doing the production and deliver the product. Obviously, when you start producing the product, some of the time you spend upon the production, rest of the time will be spent upon waiting. The good is waiting when the work will be performed upon it. The rest of the time is what? Queuing, goods in queue and waiting for its own turn. Rest of the time will be spent in the form of what? In the form of heating and setting up the machine. Those all are the non-value added. Only the production time or the process time is a value added. Hence, in order to see effectiveness of cycle time, we measure what? We measure the manufacturing cycle efficiency, operating cycle efficiency. The formula for same is what? The processing time divided by total cycle time. You need to see if you are measuring the operating cycle efficiency now, while taking the total time, which total time you'll take? You'll take manufacturing cycle time. Don't worry, if I get the time, I'll explain this concept again to you. But right now, you need to understand only it is good for organization is the cycle time is less. But this statement is half a statement. Take an example. The cycle time is 10 for the first entity and the cycle time is 12 for the second entity. You'll say this is good. But if I tell you out of this cycle time, the processing time is 2 for this entity and the processing time is 6 for this entity. It means the total time spent, out of that 50% is spent upon value added activity. So the time spent on non-value added activity is also 50%. But here, out of the 10, only 2 is spent upon the value added activity. Means 20% is on a value added activity, remaining 80% on the non-value added activity. So cycle time is not a true indicator of the productivity. Cycle time is not a true indicator of the performance. In order to see the performance, what do you need to see? Operating cycle efficiency. Formula for which is already written to you. That is the processing time divided by total cycle time. इस पे अगर क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस करना हो ना तो प्रीवियस क्लास में जो हमने लास्ट क्वेश्चन करा था बैलेंस स्कोर कार्ड पे दैट यू कैन प्रैक्टिस. ओके, अगर नहीं समझ आएगा मुझसे पूछना, नेक्स्ट क्लास आई विल एक्सप्लेन इट फॉर यू. नाउ मूविंग टू दिस थिंग. Read this next measure. What is the measure? Average cycle time. Here, average cycle time means customer inquiry to customer delivery. Which cycle time they are talking about? They are talking about delivery cycle time. Okay, because मैंने आपको बताया there are different forms of cycle time. Customer inquiry to delivery. The weeks are given. Earlier we take 5 weeks to deliver the goods after it is ordered. Now we take only 4 weeks. Whether we able to reduce the cycle time or not. Whether we able to reduce the cycle time or not. Quickly tell me. Whether we able to reduce cycle time or not. I'm waiting for your answer, friends. Quickly respond back. Earlier, we used to take 5 weeks to deliver the order. Now we only take 4 weeks to deliver the order. Whether we are improving on the productivity, do we reducing the cycle time? Answer is yes. Although I'm waiting for your answer, maybe due to the low connectivity, I'm not able to get it on the right time. So we'll write here cycle time reduces, hence productivity enhances. Good. Chavi good, Preeti good, Raman fine, Jayashri fine, very good. Friend, now read the next parameter along with me, or next measure along with me. What is the measure? Component scrapped in the production. This is nothing but the wastage. Earlier, the wastage was 6.5%, but now the wastage is only 1.5%. Whether the wastage decrease or increase? Quickly tell me whether the waste increase or decreased. Obviously, from the data, it is quite visible the wastage reduces. See the last parameter and answer for the same as well. Ideal machine. See the last data and answer. Ideal machine capacity. Earlier, 9% of your machine capacity remain ideal. Now only 1% of your machine capacity remain ideal. Let me tell you, in the chapter number you already studied 7 types of wastages. One wastage is wastage of material. Other wastage is due to extra motion. Third wastage due to queue time or wait time. Fourth wastage, the ideal machine capacity. There is cost accounting standard 2, which measure the different sort of capacity, installed capacity, used capacity. We make strategy because resources are scarce. So machine capacity is also a scarce function. We must use it in optimal manner. That you already studied in the relevant costing. If there is a free capacity, produce the goods even at the variable cost. Still you able to save some money. More than variable cost, you will able to save some money. So friend, ideal capacity is also a sort of waste. It is also a signal of the waste. If you able to reduce your ideal machine time from 9% to 1%, it means you are good enough to reduce the waste. You are good enough to reduce the waste. Now remember the thing which I tell to you. These two features, quality and delivery, need to be enhanced. And these two parameters, cycle time and waste, need to be reduced. Only then we'll say we are performing good. Are we able to reduce cycle time? Yes. Are we able to reduce wastage? Yes. So are we improving our internal efficiency? Answer is yes. So internal efficiency is also enhances. Please don't get confused. Efficiency enhances, cycle time and waste decreases. Okay? Efficiency enhances, hence the performance is enhances. Okay? So this much of the answer. Very good. Someone answer from the Kanur. Good to see you, friend. Good. Good. Very good. So friends, this much is the answer given in the study material. But you can improve that answer. How you improve that answer? Right now, you measure the performance only at what level? You measure the performance at the operational level. But you also need to measure the performance at SBU level. That is equally important. Although the data is not with us to measure the performance at BOS level. BOS level is a nothing, but you can say it is the individual plant or individual section in the organization. Okay. So data is not available. Although customer satisfaction can be identified. From which factor it can be identified? Repeat of the customer. How many customer returning back to us? But data is not given to us. Productivity, I earlier mentioned, the cycle time is not a true parameter of evaluating the productivity. What is the true parameter of evaluating the productivity? Operating cycle efficiency. But data is not given to us. How we measure that? That's why we are not able to measure these three. But data is given in order to measure the market share and the profitability. Okay. Now you need to help me in order to measure these two. Firstly, we'll measure the market share. How will measure the market share? In total market, the sale of 110 lakh rupee happened in year 2019, and our share was or will be 18 only. Can you tell me the market share? Quickly tell me the market share for the year 2019. I'm waiting for your answer, friends. Quickly tell me the market share. Send it for all 3 years. Year 2019, year 2020, and year 2021. Against 115, how much our share? 21. Against 120, how much our share? 23. Quickly tell me, what is your market share for each year? Year 2019, year 2020, year 2021. I'm also computing in the meantime for you. Here it is 16.36%. Chavi, we need to compute market share, not market size. How we compute market share? Our sale divided by total market sale. 18 by 110. Again, recompute it and send me the correct answer. This is not expected from you, Chavi. You are a regular student and you never make such a silly mistakes. Good. Hema answered very well. All correct. Yes. So friends, I believe that in the meantime, you will also answer in the query box. You can see the answer here as well. In the year 2019, your market share is 16.36%. In the year 2020, it increases to 18.26%. And in year 2020, it further improves and increases to 19.17. It means your market presence or market share keep on increasing. Hence, at SPU level, at level number 2 in the performance pyramid, you able to attain the left hand side, that is the market share. Agreed? Now we are moving to the profitability. Okay, now quickly compute the margin. How the margin will be computed? Sale minus total cost. Likewise, for the year 2019, sale is 18 lakh rupee and the cost to me is 14.10 lakh. So what will be the margin to me? It is 3.90. Don't compute absolute profit because absolute number are confusing. They are misleading. Compute it in a percentage form. Compute the margin as percentage of sale, like 3.90 divided by 18. Compute profitability here. Good. Anjali, good. Leela, good. Raviteja, fine. Thank you. Jayashri, you are also computing fine. Good. Good. Someone asked a question from the Tivendram, whether the components scrapped in the production and ideal machine time, which shows the improvement, be reported in internal efficiency dimension? Yes, friend, it will, because these two are the representatives. These two measures are nothing but the representative of what? Of the waste which you are generating. And waste in this particular model which you studied along with me is considered as part of internal efficiency at the operational level. Hence, these two will be falling under the internal efficiency. I hope your query is resolved. Friend, you need to tell me the margin. Quickly tell me the margin for year 2019 and 2021. 3.9 divided by 18. the margin ratio is 21.66. Is 21.66 in year 2019. In year 2021, it is 23 reduced by 12.55 divided by 23. It will be 445 point. Here it will be 45.43%. So margin percentage for 2019 is 21.66 and for 2021 it is 45.43. Good. Chavi good. Anjali fine. Hema also computed fine. Preeti also computed fine. So you simply can see your margin enhances from 21.66 to 39 in year 2020, and in year 2021 it becomes 45. Hence, the right hand side means the financial aspect is also attained or achieved. Agreed? Now come back to the notes quickly. See this model once again. So whether your internal efficiency improves based upon the operational performance parameter, answer is yes. Whether your external effectiveness improves based upon these two parameters, answer is again yes. Then further, whether at strategic business unit level, you able to achieve your market objective, yes. Whether at financial aspect, you able to achieve your objective, answer is again yes, you able to achieve your financial objective. So obviously your corporate objective will be achieved. So you can see here with this particular question, the performance pyramid help the organization to obtain the organization vision. I hope the concept is clear to you, and I can move to the next concept now. Take a minute break only. Just stretch your arms. Let back on the seat on which you are sitting. Give a rest to your body only for a minute. We are going to start a new topic, okay? Okay, let's start. Friend, next topic is the building block model. This model is given on the page number 8.22 to 8.25 of the old study material and 8.31 to 8.33 of the revised study material. And there is no major change in this particular topic regarding the theory given in the study material. Although there is change regarding the model which we just studied, performance pyramid. Okay. So prior to study the notes regarding this model, let me take you to some pictures. Friends, I strongly believe in your childhood, each one of you played this particular game of the building block and tried to form certain structured, whether known or unknown. These game is known as blocks, or the name of game itself is a block, or the material which you use are known as block. On a similar line and length, if a building is need to be constructed, then such a sort of ECC or REC block are used so that building can be structured. Building can be, you can say that, established. In the year 1996, SEMA, Chartered Institute of Management Accountant, what they did basically, they conducted a research which is conducted by two researchers. The name of researcher is Lynn Fitzgerald and Philip Moon. These two are the researcher, and who sponsor the research, who pay the money to conduct the research? It is the SEMA London. So they conduct a research that how the performance can be measured in the service industry. Obviously, if they conduct the research, they need to come up with the research report. They come up with 110-page research report in the December month of the year 1996. SEMA later on published that research report as a booklet, which is available for the sale as well. And the sale of the book started in the year January 1997. But this is not a relevant fact. What is the relevant fact? In this report, friends, these two researchers identify 5 specific features of the service industry and gave a model through which the performance of the service industry can be measured. And the name of the model is building block. Now, why the name building block is given? Because they says there are 3 blocks which we can use to build up the organization or to build up the performance of the organization. What are the name of those blocks? The name of the blocks are standards. Standards are nothing but the targets. Rewards. Rewards are nothing but the benefit which will be given to the person who will obtain the target or the standard. Based upon these 2 blocks or on the foundation of these 2 blocks, the third box, dimension is there. Dimension of performance. Don't worry, I will explain this thing in the form of story. But prior to that, let me take you to the 5 features which they explain of service industry. This says service is intangible. No doubt it creates a value, but it cannot be seen. Second, service has a feature of variability. If you ask me to explain or teach you same concept again, even I'm a same person, I have a same knowledge base, you are the same person who is listening, and with no gap of the time, if I explain this thing again now, I will not use the same words. So this is a feature of the service. There is always a variability. You go to the same massage parlor or the beauty parlor or the hair salon where you avail the facility of the head massage. Each time you will not get the same amount of relief from the head massage. Why? There is a variability. You go to certain place where you always find it's a calm for you, it's giving inner strength to you, but each time you will not get the same sort of inner strength. So there is a variability. Okay. Further, the next thing is what? That is the simultaneously. What does it mean simultaneously? The moment service provider provides the service, at the same time it is consumed by the service recipient. It cannot be stored. It cannot be stored. Further, perishability. Obviously, if in the beauty parlor or in the salon, some person who is giving you the massage, who is giving you the head massage, or who is cutting your hair, willing to cut to your hair, then if you not avail at then, you can't avail it right now. You can't say that, okay, I buy a certain product, I don't wish to take delivery now, hold the delivery with you, later on I'll take the delivery from you. In the service, it is not possible. Delayed delivery is not possible. Last one, no transfer of ownership. If you ask some singer to sing a song for you, you invite some singer on the wedding function or some other function to render his services by singing a song. You will not become the owner of that particular song, or you will not become the owner of his tonsils through which he sings a song or she sings a song. You only enjoy the song. So this is another feature of the service. So these 5 features explained by these 2 researchers, and then they gave this particular model. Now I'll come to the model. I'll explain each of the block one by one so that you're able to understand. Okay. So the first block I'm taking right now, the dimensions. what the researcher said. The researcher said that these dimensions are the dimension of performance. The first two dimensions, financial performance and competitiveness, are the result through which performance can be seen. The remaining four dimensions are the determinant which decide the result. If your quality is high, you are selling innovative product, your flexibility to improve the customer experience and the productivity in form of resource utilization is high, your financial performance obviously better. Your competitiveness means the competitive advantage which you enjoy in the market obviously better than other. So the researcher said these are the upstream dimensions. What does it mean upstream? Although this much technical word is not written in your study material, but I wish you must know so that after reading your answer, examiner say that suggested answer can have a better version. Okay. Upstream dimension. What does it mean upstream dimension? Means it will improve the performance. These are the feature which causes the change in the performance. These are the causes which let the building grow. The same manner, these are the causes which let the performance grow. So determinant are nothing but the parameter of the performance. Quality. What is the quality? Quality is nothing but the conformance to the need of the customer. If you able to meet the need of the customer, your product is a quality product. Otherwise, your product is not a quality product. What is the innovation? You are keep on selling the new product. You are coming up with the newer version. You are coming up with the better version, better than your own. Because if you are best in the market, you become a benchmark. Then there is a threat someone else can imitate you, copy you. He also become the best. So your fight now against yourself. You need to beat your prior performance. Hence, you need to do the innovations. Okay. Further, on this I have example as well. Usain Bolt, who is the fastest runner, if I am not wrong, currently as well. Maybe someone able to run faster than him now. But I can tell you of my time when he used to be the faster runner. He usually break his own record. No one else. So similar way, if you are in service industry, now you'll have to give the better experience to the customer. Every time he'll come back to you. So you need to do innovation in your process, the process which you are performing, the manner in which you are giving the service. You need to innovate that. Okay. Further, flexibility must be there. Take an example of a chartered accountancy office. The example earlier I gave to you. Someone come to you, your expertise in the taxation, but he asks you, sir, I don't need a tax advice from you. I don't here to ask you to file my ITR. I don't here to ask you to represent me by filing the form number 35 or any other form to the income tax authority or any other authority. I just simply request you, I need a money. Help me to prepare the CMA data so that I can get a loan from the bank. You need to be flexible. Otherwise, what that customer will feel? He'll annoyed. He may not come back to you again. So this thing you need to understand. Okay. Further, resource utilization means optimum utilization of resources are there or not. Whatever be the machinery or the skill which you are having, are you using them, exploiting them or not? So these determinants are nothing but you can say that pure parameter of the performance. If you are improving on these parameters, obviously your performance will improve. Your financial performance will improve, means your profitability will improve. Your competitiveness improve, means your market share will improve. But how these will improve? To improve the quality, to do the innovation, To enhance the flexibility, you need to give target to your staff. Now I am moving to the another block, the standard. You need to give targets to your staff. Can you give any random target to your staff? Or there should be some sense in it? Obviously, there should be some sense in it. What sort of sense should be in it? What are the characteristics of a good target? It must be achievable. If you give them too high target, they'll feel demotivated. There is no advantage of giving the target of such a nature which cannot be attained. When you was in intermediate, obviously only those questions asked to you which is in the intermediate syllabus. Those questions not asked to you which is in the final syllabus. Similar way, if in the beauty salon there is some person who just joined a month back, he only knows how to make a shave, he don't know how to cut the hair. You can't expect from that particular employee that he'll cut the hair. You need to teach him, you need to train him. Only then you can give him the target. So if you are giving the target to some new person, understand what are his skill. Give the target to him according to his skill and the time available to him and the resources available to him and the power available to him. It means the target which you give to any person, any employee, that must be achievable for him. Take an example of a restaurant. You give a target to some dosa wala, prepare 2000 dosa every day. Can he? Maybe, may not be. Depending upon the support staff he has. If he has a good support staff, he only need to put the, you can say that batter on the tawa and then rest of the thing will be done by some support staff, then it's fine, he can. Otherwise, he will not. So you need to see whether the target is achievable or not. Agreed? Now further on, the equity. Target must be fair for each and every person in the organization, in the department. If the target are not fair, FAIRNESS. If the target are not fair, then it become a conflict of interest between the different person or individual in the organization, and they will lose the team spirit. Hence, equitable target shall be there. I never mentioned that target shall be same for everyone. What I mentioned, it shall be equitable. If person is senior, obviously he may have more responsibility. If a person is junior, may have less responsibility. So I'm not saying give the same responsibility to all. I'm just saying give equitable responsibility according to their experience, according to their skill set, according to the power they have. Agreed? Now the last characteristics of the target, that is ownership. What does it mean, ownership? The person to whom you are giving the target, he also must feel that he is responsible for it. If you impose the target for him, he'll feel demotivated. If someone keep you asking, पढ़ ले, what you will feel? भाई पीछे क्यों पढ़ रहा है? Why you are forcing me to study? I know that I need to study. But if you yourself realize that the exams are coming near, if I study for a month or two, I'll pass with a good number. It will give me the benefit for remaining years or years to come or for remaining life. Then obviously it comes from yourself. If you waste time, it will come from your inner soul. You will feel guilty that why I wasted time. Instead of this, I can use my time for my studies. So this is a feel of ownership. Now I'm going to tell you one great management tool. If you need to give certain person a responsibility, what you need to do? Involve him in the decision making. If you wish to appoint some teacher as a program coordinator in the school or in the college, what you need to do? Ask that teacher to join the meeting with the management. And in the meeting, ask that teacher, we see your performance is very good. Why you not take this initiative for the organization? You should come forward to accept this responsibility. Obviously, that person will feel ownership, that I'm someone in the organization. That's why this thing is asked to me. And he may say, yes, okay, I'll accept the responsibility. Now he himself is accepting the target. I hope you got the point. So what you need to do prior to assign the target, make that person owner of that target. Involve himself in the decision making. So he himself opt the responsibility. It means target shall not be decided by top management. It must be a mutual decision between the top management and the person upon whom it is imposed or to whom it is given. I hope the concept is clear to you. Agreed? So first thing which we learn, friends, that is what? That is the dimension. Dimensions are nothing but critical success factors which every business must attain. Only then it will attain the corporate objective. These are the true feature of the performances. What are the critical success factor? Quality is a critical success factor. If you give a good quality, only then you will succeed. Otherwise, you will not. If you innovate continuously, only then you will be in a market. Otherwise, you will thrown out. Take an example of Nokia and BPL. They thrown out of the market of the mobile and television respectively. So you need to be innovative. You need to be flexible. You can't be harsh. Okay, no. If you place the order of this much number of unit, I can't change the order later now. If you see the Amazon, etc., or the Flipkart, etc., even though the day when your product is not out for delivery, on a last day itself, when your product is not out for delivery, you can cancel the order. This is a flexibility. This is the flexibility. I hope you got it. These are the critical success factor which you need to attain. Now, against each critical success factor, what you did, you established the target. You established the standard. The standard are nothing but the key performance indicator. But these KPI, these target must have three characteristics. What are those characteristics? Ownership, achievability, and equity. So here we mentioned that we need to improve the quality by reduce the wastage. Here we give the target. Okay, the wastage shall not be more than 2% of the total finished goods prepared. But whether that 2% is equitable or not, whether it is achievable or not, you need to see prior to establish the target. I hope this block is clear to you. Now moving further, the last leg of the story. The last leg of the story. Why a person will attain the target? Okay, you are good enough to give him the feel of ownership. You take him in your sweet talks. And he also agrees or she also agrees. Okay, I'll become the owner. I take up the responsibility. But moment he or she goes out of the office, his fellow member suggest him, you are not a master. They make a fool out of you. They gave you the responsibility. And you'll lose the motivation. In order to ensure the motivation remain high, the person to whom target is given, he work hard to obtain the target. What do you need to do? You need to have a good reward system. You must have a good reward scheme. In some of the places, rather than the word reward, the word measure is written. But you can read it as reward. Okay. So there must be good reward system. Now, what are the characteristics of the reward system? The reward system must be clear. You must tell, if you meet this much of the target, then this will be your reward. If you meet this much of the target, then this will be your reward. I strongly believe you all people solve the question of piece rate system or the hourly rate system, Harsley and the Rowan plan during your intermediate. There the person is know that if he perform better than the standard, he'll get the 50% of the bonus, or he'll get the bonus into the ratio of the time spent divided by the 2. So if this clarity is there now, then the person will push himself to attain the target. I hope this thing is clear to you. Now the second characteristics. What is the second characteristic? Controllability. The reward should be linked with the performance factor which is under the control of the person to whom the target is given. If you attach his reward with any factor or feature or the indicator which is not controlled by him, he will demotivated. So only those factors shall be included in the performance evaluation or appraisal matrix of individual which is controlled by him. If in the school teachers evaluation need to be done or appraisal need to be done, and I'll say that your appraisal will be based upon how many students score more than 90 marks. How many students score more than 90 marks? Is it good or not? It may be, it may be not. If that school gives admission to those students as well who score 90% marks in the qualifying exam, then it is reasonable. But if that school gives the admission to the student who scored 40% marks in the junior degree, how that teacher will make that person to score the 90% marks? It's a difficult one. No doubt, there is always a possibility of everything, but it is near to impossible. Not impossible, but near to impossible. And it's an uncontrollable factor. And some of the parents used to complain to the teacher, "Hamara bachcha to ghar pe aake padhta hi nahi hai." And the principals calling the teacher for this thing and saying, "You will not get the reward. Aapke bachche ghar jaake nahi padhte." Whether it's the responsibility of that man. Take another factor. Take another factor in this reward itself. You assign some target to the person and says that your reward will be based upon this particular fact. But that fact is a group fact. Means if everyone perform well, only then the target will be achieved and person will get the bonus, otherwise not. The grant group bonus scheme. Then still the person may lose the motivation. So what you need to do? You need to link the reward scheme against those matter only which is controllable by the individual. Okay. Now the last one, motivation. The reward system shall be of such a nature that the motivation of person always remain high. For example, your reward system has the ESOP plan, but your share price or the market share price or the current market price is very low. No one is ready to buy that share, or you are a private company, the share cannot be sold openly in the market. Then what that person will do with the ESOP? It is of no use. It is of no use at all. So don't give such a reward which is of no use. Give a reward which makes sense to the person to whom the target is given. Let's quickly revise along with me. What are the three blocks suggested by Fitzgerald and the Moon? The three blocks are the dimension, standard, and reward. What are the dimension? Dimension are of two types: result and determinant. Result are nothing but those items which depicts the performance of the past. Last year में profitability क्या थी? Last year में market share क्या था? But the determinant are the factors which will improve the future performance. If you enhance the quality, if you do the innovation, if you are flexible, if you are using your resources well, then your future performance will improve. So these factors are more important than these two factor results. Okay. Then further on, the standards. Standards are nothing but the KPI or the targets. These are the key performance indicator. These are the target based upon which we know, okay, whether the dimension is achieved or not. So these standards must have a feature, must have a characteristics of what? Of ownership, achievability, and equity. Equity means fairness. Then the third block is what? The reward. Reward shall be clear. It must be based upon those factors which is controllable by the person, and it must be able to motivate the person that he will achieve the target. Okay. Now, friends, no doubt we'll take a break. But prior to going for the break, let me discuss few notes with you in a quick manner. Okay. So you can see here the building block model, which suggests the solution of the performance measurement in the service industry. As I earlier mentioned that the researcher did it for the service industry, but it can be applied to the other businesses too to evaluate the business performance. It is based upon the three building block or three elements, which are dimensions, standard, and reward. The dimensions are nothing but the goal which we need to attain, like the quality, like the innovation, and it helps us to attain the two result feature, which is nothing but the profitability and competitiveness. Competitiveness can be understood as your market standing, how the market see you, how the customers see you. Then further, there is a standard. Standard is a nothing but the target. It must have a characteristics of ownership, achievability, and fairness. Then last but not the least, the reward. Reward is a nothing but a motivation factor which is given to the employee in order to ensure that they must meet the standard, friends. And this thing I already explained to you with the help of the pictures and the discussion. Okay. Then further, this discussion is there that the dimensions are nothing but the critical success factor, which is important for every organization. It's important that you must have a competitive advantage. It is important that you must be profitable. It is important that you are selling the quality product. You are flexible. You are doing the innovation. You are using your resources in the optimal manner. But how you measure all these? You are measure all these with the help of certain measures, certain indicators, and these indicators could be likewise. In order to measure your competitiveness, you'll see your relative market share. In order to measure your profitability, you'll see your gross margin ratio, your profitability ratios, or you can also see your sales, etc. In order to measure your quality, you see how much number of customer coming back to you again and again. Because if your service is bad, customer will not come back to you. If your quality is good, only then they'll come back to you. So reliability, your responsiveness to customer, and customer coming back to you are nothing but the you can say that the measures of the quality. So these things are given to you here. Further on, the meaning of all the three characteristics explained here, that equity means equally challenging for all. Ownership means the person to whom you give the target, it must be acceptable to him. Then the achievable means that it must be realistic. It should not be too high or low. Then the motivational, the reward shall be motivational. Why it shall be motivational? So that the customer feel always high and he must did best of his effort or do best of his effort in order to attain the targets. Then it must be clear, because the clear reward can give the real motivation. Then the controllability, in order to ensure that person will be rewarded only for the good thing he did and penalized only for the bad thing he did. He'll not be penalized for the bad thing done by the other or not as part of the group. Okay, so this thing is quite clear to you, and I try to explain it with the help of this model. Now we'll do the question which is given in the November 2020. Okay. But prior to going to question, we'll take a break. Right now it's 7:48. Okay, friends. I strongly believe you all will come back at 7:54. Okay, sorry, 7:54. Yes. So we'll meet again at 7:54. Take a break till then. When you will come back after the break, we'll use some live equipment in the class in order to understand the next model, which is going to be interesting for you. Okay, I have some live equipment in order to understand the next model, and we'll also solve this particular question, the soup limited. Okay, take a quick break, stretch your body, take some meal, and come back in the next 5 minutes. Okay. the calculation, I take the input from you as well. Okay, so you need to be now attentive. Take your calculator as well as your device in your hand so that you can solve and send back the answer. Okay, let's start with the question. This question is asked in the MTP November 2020, question number 3, and I am very much hopeful that the similar concept will be tested in the examination too, because EDA already tested, so one model is need to be tested. That model could be the balance scorecard or the building block, because performance prism is already tested once. So this is only an estimation. There is no, you can say that a symbol or a hint. Don't take it as any sort of a hint. Let's start read the question now. The SOUP Limited offers a range of the beauty parlor services. The model is for the service entity. Hence, in the question, the entity given to you is also from the service industry, the beauty parlor services, like the hair care, body care, manicure, pedicure, and skin care, etc. It has 150 centers across the country. So it's a kind of a chain. The business of beauty parlor is extremely competitive in all the regions. Since it's competitive, you also wish to ensure your competitiveness or competitive advantage. And competitive advantage is the result dimension of the performance as per building block model. Each center operates autonomously, and managers are able to offer customized services. Means each of their center working independently as individual division and able to take their decision themselves. Further, the SOUP mission statement is to inspire and enhance the beauty by using the knowledge and the experience. It means they wish to use their intellectual skill, which is the knowledge of their beautician and the experience of their beautician, to give the experience in the form of beauty to the customer. Okay, further, to establish the long-term relationship of the trust and the commitment with the clients, the SOUP wanted to provide their client highest level of the satisfaction, with the emphasis upon service customization. This shall be seen as flexibility. It means you are flexible enough that you can customize according to the need of the customer. This is nothing but the determinant dimension of performance of the building block model. Further, professionalism, work, and clinical responsibility. What does it mean? It is nothing but the quality. You are giving them assurance of hygiene, and hygiene is considered as a quality in the personal care industry or the services in domain of the personal care or the skin care. Further, client's feedback. Mind it, client feedback is very important because they are telling you the scope of improvement. Further, company has developed the website where it creates the blog, post high quality content relating to the beauty tips. It means it's try to tempt its customer through an online portal by the blogging, because it's an era of the online youngsters. So that's why they do it. Further, the website is also connected to the social media to reach to the customers. So you can like the SOUP Limited on the Facebook, Insta, and the etc. other media like YouTube also. If a customer searches the SOUP services on the search engine such as Google or Yahoo, it automatically redirects to the places of the nearest service center. It means in the Google, you just enter writing the Soup Limited or the Soup Beautician, then it will lead you to the map that where is the nearby store. They tell you that we are just 5 kilometers away from you. The soap all services are presently booking through online channel. It means they don't do physical booking. They accept order or the service request through their electronic channel only. In their online portal, you need to raise the request or raise the ticket that I need this particular service. And then they provide that service to you. Okay. Further, the result for one of the center, Roop. There is one center of Soup Limited whose name is Roop. Roop is nothing but the Hindi meaning of beauty. Okay. Are given below. The column headed center shown the average figure for all the center. So now the data is given to you. One data is given for individual center whose name is Roop. Let's say it is in the Roop Nagar. And this is the average data for other center other than the Roop. Means it is the average company performance. It is the individual center's performance. Okay. Likewise, there is some MACD chain. And this is the MACD of individual place. And this is the average data for the MACDs rest where in the country. Agreed? I hope you get it that what data is written below. So the data for the month of October 2020 is given to you. The revenue is given to you. Gross profit is given to you. Number of the senior beautician and the junior beautician is given to you. You can see here that the ratio of senior beautician in the Roop beauty parlor and in another beauty parlor are not same. In the Roop beauty parlor, the ratio of beautician is 1.5:1. It means if there are 2 junior beautician, then there are 3 senior beautician. But whereas in the other stores, this ratio is 2:1, 110:55. It means if there is 2 junior beautician, then there are 4 senior beautician. Then whose experience is more? Obviously, the experience of other centers are more in comparison to the experience of the group. And you can see number of employees are also less. Here the total number of employees, including both the senior and the junior beautician, are how much? 90 plus 60, 150. Here the total number of employees are how much? 110 plus 55, 165. Now moving further. The number of website hit. It means how many persons in the search engine search for Soup Limited. How many persons? 15,000 persons search for the Roop, or 19,260% on an average for the other centers. But here there is no mistake of the Roop. Why? Because the person when write the Soup Limited, then it's a search engine who suggests the nearby beauty parlor. Obviously, there are only 15,010 persons who write the Soup Limited in the search engine who were suggested that Roop beauty parlor is near to you. So there is no mistake of the Roop that why the less customer hit here, because it's already a setting in the search engine that it will suggest the nearby beauty parlor. So number of hits are only means the number of person in the area where the Roop beauty parlor is situated. Search for the Soup Limited are only 15,010. Further, the total number of the services booked online and completed. Here to confuse you, the word online is written because all the services are accepted online now. It is mentioned in the question. Read it from here. The Soups, all services are presently booked through online. When you'll read here, you may get confused that he is talking about only those services which is booked online, not talking about those services which is booked offline. So there is no concept of offline, online now. You just read it. Total number of services booked and completed. It means how many number of person or how many hit. It may possible one person make a multiple hit during a month. So how many hit you get? You get 15,010 hit. And how many customer or the services you render? 9,915 services you render. It means your conversion ratio can be identified. 15,010 come to your website and you only able to attract 9,915 customer. But whereas in the rest of the store or the other store, average is what? The 19,260 person search for that, and their attractiveness is only this much that they can only get the order from the 12 to 70. Okay, moving further. Means this data can be used in order to compute conversion rate. Further, the number of services taken from the repeat customer is given to you. Then the total time spent completing the job in term of hours is given to you. The number of new service packages introduced by the group is 3, but by the other only 2. It means in term of innovation, because innovation is one of the determinant under the dimension block of building block model, is high in case of group, whereas low in the case of other center. Hence, there is one feature which is going in the favor of the group. Further, the customer percentage in term of the feedback form showing the score of 9 and 10. How many customer gives score 9 or 10 out of 10? There are 86% customer in the case of group, but there are only 77% customer in case of rest of sector. Hence, the customer satisfaction is high in case of group. The quality of service provided by group, it means obviously higher than in comparison to the other center. And quality is also one of the determinant under the dimension block of building block model. Okay. Now I'll take you further to study the remaining question so that we can understand the requirement. Beauticians are categorized as senior if they have qualified for more than 3 years. Junior beautician include both trainee beautician and beautician who have not qualified for less than 3 years. It means there is a difference between the expertise of both the beautician, the junior and the senior. Hence, the target shall not be given same to both. The target for the junior and senior beautician shall be different because their skill set are not same. Their experience, their expertise may not same. Okay. So this point is relevant from the perspective of which block? From the perspective of standard block, that the target shall be based upon the equitable ground, the fairness. Okay. Further, the group launched 3 new services pack during the year. The first pack, which is launched by the group, free coupon worth ₹600 for service over and above 1200, 1200 रुपए की खरीद पे 600 रुपए का coupon. Second, a head massage costing only 240 instead of 480 for 10-day advance booking. If you book in advance, it means there is a guarantee of the sale, guarantee of the revenue. If there is a guarantee of the revenue, then they will charge half to you. Further, third package, a haircut of 120 will be charged, which is usually cost 360 for all the customer booking the hair spa. Hair spa लेने पे जो hair cutting 360 रुपए की होती वो 120 रुपए की होगी. Okay, so there are these 3 packages which is launched by this Roop Beauty Parlor, not by the others. Others only launched 2 new services, but the Roop launched 3 new services. These 3 new services pack produced the revenue of 7,92,000, 6,94,000, and 6,48,000 respectively. It means due to innovation, how much extra the Roop Limited earn, you can add these 3 and you can identify the amount. Further, the 2 comparable new service pack developed by the other center produced the revenue of 5,28,000 and 4,000. You clearly can see the new product of Roop Limited helped them to earn more money. If you add these three, I don't know how much amount it will become, but obviously 7 plus 6, 13 plus 6, 19. It is more than 5 plus 5, 10. So your innovation has more worth than the innovation of your counterparts. Okay. Now the last paragraph. The customer to rate the particular center from 1 to 10 in the online feedback form after the service he'll get, with the 10 being the best. So it means getting 9 here, 10 here is best for the Roop. The last point which we studied, that the 86% says we are getting 9 out of 10 marks in comparison to the 77% of the counterparts. Now, the CEO of the SOUP has recently attended a webinar and heard about the building block model of the performance measurement. The CEO is interested to know how the dimension block could be applied. He or she, I don't know. It's mentioned only CEO. Yes. So he or she wishes to know how the dimension block comprises 6 things. What are 6 things? The competitiveness, the financial performance, then the quality, then the innovation, then your flexibility, and last but not the least, the resource utilization. So they need to check how these 6 points you are performing, whether you are performing good or bad in these 6 elements. But read the requirement, don't judge from here only. You are required to analyze the Roop's performance related to the other center. So this is exactly the same, and each dimension will be for 2 marks, obviously. You are required to explain how the standard and reward blocks support the dimension block in case of building block model. This is purely theoretical question, not having any practical importance. So you need to explain the theory, that what are the characteristics of standard and what are the characteristics of reward, and what actually they mean. Standard means nothing but the target, and reward means nothing but the incentive which the person will get after attaining the standard. Now let me to the sheet where we will solve this particular question. Okay. Now here we will solve this particular question. So get ready with your devices. You need to compute some of the data in order to help me. So let's quickly revise the dimension first. Okay. Because we need to do the revision here in the class itself. So what are the 6 dimensions? The 6 dimension comprises 2 results and 4 determinants. What are the 2 results? The competitiveness and financial performance. What are the 4 determinants? Quality, flexibility, innovation, and resource utilization. Now the first thing, competitiveness, I wish to check. How I'll check competitiveness of me against my counterparts? Based upon the conversion. How many possible customer I can have who searched 15,010, but how much customer I actually get or order I actually get? I get only 9915 orders, but whereas rest of the center can get how much number of customer or orders? 19,260. But how much order they actually get? They only get the order equivalent to 12,270. So in order to measure the competitiveness, what measure I am going to use? I am going to use conversion rate of customer as a measure. How I will compute the conversion rate? I'll compute the conversion rate by identifying the number of orders with the total number of hits. Okay, multiply it with 100 because we need it in a percentage. Now you need to tell me for both the Roop and other. Quickly compute and tell me what I will do. For the other, I will compute. Okay, and for the Roop, you help me to compute. I'll compute it for the others. I take one responsibility and you also take one responsibility. I'll compute it for the other in the meantime. Good. 66. Good. Chavi and Preeti. Good. 66.06%. I strongly believe that other friends are also writing the answer. Friends, now move further. The financial performance. Financial performance can be evaluated. Later on, we'll do the analysis of performance of group versus all. Firstly, let us calculate the measures. Okay. Let us calculate the data for the indicator. Financial performance. How the financial performance can be measured? It can be easily measured based upon the GP ratio. And the data to compute GP ratio is given to you, both the gross profit and the revenue. So now what you need to do, compute gross profit ratio. I write the figure here. It is 48,50,400 divided by 91,26,000 into 100. Compute it. Good. Good. Anjali doing good. Jayashri, Leela, Raman, Hema, absolutely fine. Good. Quickly compute the GP ratio now. I did the calculation, which is on my part, and I need an answer from you. Okay, I'll do the calculation for Roop as well because net is going slow. So we should not delay our answer. Okay. It is 53.15. When someone will send the answer, I'll cross check. 53.15. Let me check it. Yes. Preeti, Leela, Anjali, Chavi. Fine. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Thank you. Okay. Friend, now see here. Okay, we'll do the as we mentioned, the comparison later on. We'll not do comparison here because if we start doing comparison here, then it will take a longer time to us. Okay, now the next feature is what? That is the quality. How the quality of service can be tested? The quality of service can be tested based upon the repeated number of the customer. If the customer come to us again and again, it means we are giving the good quality service. But if the customer not coming back to us, it means our service is not good. And you can see here, the number of services taken by repeat customer is given to you. There was clerical mistake in the question itself, and I copied from the question. So I also write from. It is not from, it's by. The number of service taken by repeat customer. You total render the services 9915, and out of that 1510 is the repeat customer. Can you identify the repeat customer percentage? Compute it quickly. 1510 divided by 9915 into 100. How much? Quickly compute it. Repeat customer in order to see the quality. I'll also compute in the meantime for the others. It is 13.08. $15.23. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Chavi. Thank you, Hema. Okay, friends. Can we move further? Okay. Good. All those who are sending 15.23, your answer is absolutely fine. Some of my friends quoted in the digit 22, 91, 3081. That is also fine. Decimal accuracy up to 2 point is acceptable. Highly acceptable, sir. Okay. Now the next is the flexibility. How the flexibility can be judged here? Here, no data pertaining to customization is given. But we can judge the flexibility based upon these factors, how quickly we serve the client. If we able to serve the client quickly, then flexibility is higher. If we take time to serve the client, then it means flexibility is lower, because it's mentioned in the question that the mission or the vision of the SWOOP Limited are set in such a manner we believe in providing customized services. It means all the jobs provided by the ROOP or the other center are customized. Hence, the time taken to complete the job can also be considered a true representative or measure of the flexibility. Although it's always preferable to identify some data in the question or in the real world scenario relating to number of customers who ask for specification and whether you're able to meet their specification or not. And then that ratio need to be seen in order to check the flexibility. But in the question mentioned that we are providing customized service to all. And how many total services you render? 9915. How many total services rendered by the other centers on average basis? 12,270. And how much hours we take? We here take 24 120 hours. So can we compute the hours taken to perform one service? Yes, it can be computed. Although it may not be a best measure, but depending upon the data available in the question to us, we have to take this measure. Obviously, in some of the services, the customization is highly important, like hair cutting. The different hairstyle are possible. But in the mani pedicure, I don't know basically what it is, but I believe that maybe the customization less required in comparison to the haircut, because people are very specific about their hair. I largely see the people who are very specific about their hair. Okay, so each service in this particular question, in this particular case specifically, may not take the same amount of time. So the measure which we are going to apply is not free from limitation, but due to the limited data available, we have to apply this. Okay, so now what we do? So what we do? Now we'll need to here compute the number of hours to complete the service. Number of hours to complete the service. Write down quickly or compute quickly. Give me the answer. How much hour you took? 24,120 hours you took. And how much of the services or order you computed? Good. Some of my friend compute for me as well. I'm copying it, relying upon you that your calculation is absolutely fine. Okay. Friends, now the next one, innovation. Those who sent the answer, absolutely fine. Thank you. Thank you, Chavi. Thank you, Raviteja. Thank you. Further, innovation. Friends, there are how many innovation? There are 3 innovation by the ROOP and there are 2 innovation by the other. But obviously, the innovation, number of innovation are not the best judgment of worth or importance of innovation. Some person may register 10 patent and another person register only 5 patent. We can't say the person who registered 10 patent are best, because it may possible his patent is of no commercial value. But the person who registered only 5 patent, those include the patent of the window. Those include the patent how to make Coca-Cola. Those include the patent of some international brand like the Tesla, etc., how to launch a rocket or how to make a rocket. So number of innovation is not the best to judge. What shall be the best judge? That is the remuneration or the revenue which you earn out of that. So revenue, the 3 new services help ROOP to earn is 21,36,000. I did nothing. I just add up this revenue 792, 696 and 648. Similar way, I add this 528 and 504 and I compute the revenue from the new innovation. And that is need to be divided with the total revenue. So how will compute innovation? The innovation will be measured through sales from new pack or innovative pack divided by total sales. Quickly compute it. I compute the data for you. 21,36,000 divided by total revenue. Similar way here, 10,32,000 divided by total revenue. Please mind it. Here you need to take total revenue of Roop. Here you need to take total revenue of others. Okay. Let me compute for you. Good. Anjali, Preeti, Hema, Jayashree, Leela, Daman. Good. Your answer is absolutely correct. Quickly tell me the data for these. In the meantime, I'll also compute for myself. Okay, you need to provide me data for the Roop. How much? 23.41. Thank you very much. Absolutely correct. Thank you, Chavi. Thank you, Jayashree. Okay, moving further. Resource utilization. How the resource utilization can be quantified? In the service industry, the major resource is either the intellectual property or the person who is either professional or vocational, who is performing that particular service. So here the beautician are the resources. The time of beautician is the resource. The number of labor hour is the critical element, critical resource. So how we can identify resource utilization? In the material, in the MTP, when the answer is given, what they did, they simply divide the number of employees. They simply divide number of employee to revenue. How basically? The revenue of Roop is 91,26,000. They divided it by 150. Although I'm not very much disagree with this, but I feel it shall not be divided with the single figure of 150. Why? Because senior beautician has more efficiency than the junior beautician. Senior beautician may take those jobs where the revenue is higher than the junior beautician. Since the ratio of junior and senior beautician is not same in the case of Roop and in the case of other, hence we shall not take it at the same ground. But somehow there is a limitation of data. Hence we'll have to do in this manner only. We don't have any other manner. One can argue, sir, instead of dividing number of employees with the revenue, can we divide number of employees with the number of services? Yes. But whether all the service of the same value and importance? One can say, sir, can we divide revenue with the hours spent? Yes. But do you know how much number of ideal hours are there? Obviously, we need to pay for ideal hour as well. Not only for the hour for which the operation is ongoing. Hence, considering the limitation of the question, of the data given in the question, will accept this solution. Although alternate to this thing is quite possible. And you, by quoting your presumption or assumption, can take it any way. It will be considered correct. Okay. So friend, now please help me to compute the resource utilization. And we'll go by the manner in which it is done by or solved by institution or institute. And they said you need to take the revenue 1,08,66,000 1900 divided by the number of employees, although it seems a bit irrational, but somehow, due to the limitation of fact given in the question, we'll have to move in this manner. Don't worry, we have a multiple discussion state to do in this question. We'll spend 10 further minutes on this question itself, because there are many things which I need to teach, because in the question paper, you may get the question, but you'll not get the same fact. So how you tackle the fact that I need to teach you. Okay, I'll compute it for the others. You'll compute for the group. Okay. So per person per month sale is 65,860. Someone sent me data. छवि ओके दोनों का लिखा है फाइन 60,000 थैंक यू 840 थैंक यू अंजलि गुड 60,000 and 840 good everyone good who is sending the answer. Friends, now let's quickly appraise the performance. Why? Because this is what asked to us in the question. Let's read the requirement. You are required to analyze. You only need not to compute. Apart from computation, you also need to analyze the group's performance relative to the other centers. Okay. Now let's start analysis. Whether the conversion rate of group is better than the other or not. I change the color of the pen so that you can capture it in a well manner. Whether the performance of group is better than other or not. Thank you others who are sending the answer, Raman and Ahima. Obviously you will say, sir, the performance of group is better than the performance of other, because the conversion rate of other is 63, whereas the conversion rate of group is 66. It means अगर 100 कस्टमर आते हैं जो इंक्वायर करते हैं कि सर्विस ले या ना, उनमें से 63 सर्विस लेते हैं in case of other beauty parlors, but in case of group 66.06 out of those took the service in case of group. So group is better. Further, GP ratio. The GP ratio of group is better than the other. In case of other, it's only 47, but whereas in case of the group, it is 53.15. Here, friend, you need to consider some other factor as well. What are the other factors need to be considered? The factor like the new service pack are offered by the group. This may be reason that the group able to sell more services. Hence, it may possible that their revenue increases and their profit also increases. Further moving, okay, take another thing here itself in the financial performance. Despite this particular, you can say that fact that they have less senior beautician, which is a kind of loss to them or a kind of limitation to them. But there is an advantage. They have more junior beautician, and junior beautician obviously charging less. Hence, the cost or the salary of junior beautician is less. This may result in high GP ratio. So one of the another reason of high GP ratio may be what? That group has more beautician, which is the junior in the nature rather than the senior. Let's understand this point once again. If in the other center 2 beautician are junior, then there are 4 beautician senior. But in the group, if 2 beautician are junior, then only 3 are senior. It means if we see the ratio, then the large junior number are included in the case of the group. Hence, the salary expenditure of group is less, and service industry majorly has expenditure in the form of salaries. Hence, this may be the reason that the GP ratio of group is better than the GP ratio of the others. Okay. Now moving further, the repeat customer. The repeat customer is 13.08. Out of 100 customers you serve first time, only 13 customers come back to you. But in case of loop, 15 customers come back to you. So obviously the performance of loop is appreciable, and it is appreciable despite this fact that they have most of the junior staff. It means either they has good personal relation with the clients, or they has, you can say, better customization of the services as per the need of the customer. Obviously, this can be visible from data here. Roop took 2.43 hours to complete a job, whereas the other beauty parlor took only 2.11 hours to complete a job. Why Roop taking more time? Because it is providing customized service. That's why the repeat customer is high. That's maybe the reason the conversion rate is a high, because it may have a good reputation among the society that they are doing the customization or nearby people. But it costs them what? It costs them the high number of hours to complete one job. So productivity of Roop is low. But we need not to consider much or worry about this particular factor, that it spent 2.43 hours to complete the job as against to 2.11 hours taken by other. Why not? Because the moment these junior staff also get trained and become the senior staff, they will also take less time, might be. And the loyalty pay off them. Why pay off them? Because they have a repeat customer. Okay, so it is adverse, no doubt, but still not that much. Further, the next point, the innovation revenue. In case of other 9.5, but whereas in case of Roop, it is 23.41. So it's way ahead than the other center. There is no comparison which can be done. Undisputed leader is the Roop. Further, the resource utilization. The revenue per employee is less, and the major reason for that may be what? It has a junior employee, number one. Number two, it take more time. It may possible that Roop is providing a thorough or comprehensive job. So two features go against the Roop, which is the flexibility and resource utilization. And the major reason for both are what? The ratio of the beautician. Okay, so this you need to mention. I hope the question is quite clear to you. Yes, thank you, Raman. Thank you, Ravi, that you are mentioning that Roop is better. Chavi also mentioned the Roop is better. That's thank you. Good. I hope the question is quite clear to you. And the second part of question is nothing but pure theory. You are required to explain how the standard and reward block support the dimension block in case of building block model. But here, one point from the case you can add in the standard where you need to write equitable, that standard must be equitable. Then there you need to write that there are two sort of employee. One are the senior and other are the junior. While setting the standard, you must consider the level and give the standard accordingly. Okay, friends. Now, please allow me to move further so that I can let you understand the another model on which we have examination question, and that question was asked in the May 2019. We'll understand the model. If it took us the time to complete the model, then don't worry, we'll solve the question in the next class. But let us understand the model. Very important. Although already tested, hence probability is bit less, but don't commit anything. Don't have a preemptions that it will not test it again. It may be tested again. Okay, so performance prism, it is given on the page number 8.25 and 8.26 of the older study material and 8.34 of the revised study material. Prior to discuss these notes, let me take you to the book. This book, whose name is or title is Performance Prism, Scorecard for Measuring and Managing Business Success, is written by three authors, Andy Neely, Chris Adam, Mike Kennerly. Although prior to this, model is only suggested by these two gentlemen, Andy Neely, and Chris Adam. But when they write a book, they give a formal introduction to the model. They launch the Prism model basically. Hence, you can write these three are the inventor of the performance prism. Mr. Antonelli is a professor in the Crane School. Chris Adam was then the consultant in this Accenture, and Mike is nothing but the researcher under the Professor Antonelli. So he is only the supporting hand majorly. So these two gentlemen are the brain behind the performance prism. The book which they wrote in the chapter number 1 and chapter number 3, they suggest the performance prism, and they wrote about the model that the performance prism can be used in order to assess the performance and basically tell what performance prism do. So you can see here, they explain the performance prism, and in the performance prism, they explain the 5 dimension, which is nothing but the stakeholder satisfaction, the stakeholder contribution, the strategies, the processes, and the capabilities. Friend, you may be aware there is a company called DHL, which is a courier company, fastway courier company. Okay. In the chapter number 11 of this particular book, they make an attempt to apply this particular model on the DHL itself. So they try to mention this thing that the performance prism can be applicable to the all sort of industry. And you can see this fact is written over here. But my purpose is not to let you study the entire book of 377 pages. Although this is nothing, this document is the review of the book in the 11 pages. I studied some of the part of the question and help you to understand what is basically performance prism. Okay. So I'll take you to this in order to understand the performance prism. Performance prism basically comprises 5 elements. What are those elements? Those elements are stakeholder satisfaction, strategies, processes, capabilities, means the resources, and contribution done by stakeholder. Let me tell you a small story. Listen very carefully. This is gonna help you in a greater manner. Why this model need to be developed? By the end of year 2000, everyone start understanding balanced scorecard. Not only balanced scorecard, but also performance pyramid. But there is problem with these models. Performance pyramid only care about customer, that is the market on the left hand side of the model, and apart from that, the shareholder on the right side as financial aspect. The balanced scorecard also took the perspective of shareholder, apart from that, the perspective of customer. No doubt, under the learning and innovation, it talk about the staff. But it only says that you need to train your staff must be learned. It is not considering staff as a separate perspective. So there is a limitation associated with these two models, that these are considering only limited set of stakeholders. It don't consider all the stakeholders. But what actually need to be done? We need to consider all the stakeholders, only then the business can be successful. Do we actually need to consider all the stakeholders, or can we consider all the stakeholders? This question was very famous until in the year 1991, answer given by Mr. Mandelo. Now, please, friend, allow me to take you to the advanced level, because I feel that you may get this thing. either in the chapter number 1 or either in this particular chapter. In order to do the competitive analysis, how much it is important to consider the stakeholder and how we can consider the stakeholder. Can we consider all the stakeholder or we not? And what is the model? So there is a model which I bring for you. So let me explain the model for you, that how organization can consider different stakeholders. And I'm not teaching you out of the syllabus. The name of the model was mentioned in the suggested answer. So that's why I'm teaching you this particular model. Okay. So just spare another 2-3 minutes and learn this particular model. What is the Mandelo model basically, or Mandelo matrix basically? Mandelo said that the stakeholder, which is a part of the business, has the influence or the power to make impact on the business, but also has vested interest in the business. Interest can be low, high, similar manner. The power which he has, low or high. The power promoter group is having, obviously higher than the power of individual shareholder. The power a director has higher than a power of a normal employee. The interest of promoter is obviously higher than the interest of individual shareholder. I had some of the share. My interest in the company obviously less than the share held by the promoter of that particular company. Likewise, I hold the share of TML, I hold the share of ITC, but obviously my concern will not be at par to the interest of the promoter group. Agreed or not? So if the power is high as well as interest of the stakeholder is high, he'll consider as key player. Because he's considered as a key player, so we need to manage him closely. In each business decision, his participation is quite important. Otherwise, later on, he says that mujhe to pata nahi tha and I'm not with it, and company should not go forward. So we need to take him in each consideration, in each discussion. Further, keep satisfied those in whose case interest is low but power is high. Take the chairman or the CMD who don't have the share of the company. He's only appointed or employed there. But if they are not satisfied with anything, obviously that decision will not taken place. Further, if the interest is high but power is low, keep informed them. Last but not the least, minimum effort. Interest is low, power is low. Take an example of some school. In the case of the school, the owner of the school come under this category, key player. The student come under the category of keep satisfied. If they are not satisfied, the revenue will not come. They are the source of revenue. The teacher will become under this particular category, keep informed. And the grade 4 staff will come under this category, minimum effort. So you need to start with this side. Start considering stakeholder from here and then slowly move to this side. Consider them at the last. Okay. So if you can't consider all the stakeholder, you know which of the stakeholder is important to consider with the help of the Mandelo matrix. Now come back. So there was a limitation of the balance scorecard and performance pyramid that they deal with the limited set of stakeholders, not with all the stakeholders. Hence, we need a model which can be deal with all the stakeholders. So that's why Neely and Adam suggest the performance prism. This says that the prism has a 5 sides. And each of the side represented by these things. Now, I'll let you understand this thing with the help of live object. Okay. Stop sharing the screen so that you can see me. I have this box with me. And on this box, the same 5 things are written, which we studied. What are the 5 things? The stakeholder contribution, space is less, so that's why I write the word stakeholder in the form SK then HLD. It is nothing but the stakeholder. What are the 5 factors? I'll firstly study with you the stakeholder satisfaction. This is the first factor. What is the second factor? That was the strategy. What is the third factor? That was nothing but the processes. What was the fourth factor? That is nothing but the capabilities. And the last factor, that is nothing but the stakeholder contribution. एक बार जल्दी से मेरे साथ factor study कर लीजिए. First factor is the expectation of stakeholders. Stakeholder हमसे क्या चाहते हैं? If someone asks you what is the difference between the group of people and the team or organization, what you will say? Group of people are the combination of people. They may have common objective, may not have a common objective. But what is the difference of group of people to the organization or the team? The team or the organization has a common objective. It may be possible that the various stakeholders come together to fulfill their individual objective. By fulfilling their individual objective, the common objective is achieved. The supplier supplies the goods for the sake of money. But he supplies the goods, that's why the business produces and business sells and business makes the money. So he may have its own motive. The supplier may have its own motive. But why all the stakeholders coming together? Because there is one supreme purpose. Greater good is there. Agreed? So first thing is what? The expectation of shareholder. Obviously, if the shareholder has expectation, then in order to meet those expectations, stakeholder. If the stakeholder has expectation, obviously in order to meet those expectations, we'll have to form the strategy. We form the strategy. The moment we form the strategy, now we need to cut down strategy into the operational processes. We need to have those processes which can attain those strategy. By setting the strategy, nothing happens. You need to change your process. Business process re-engineering need to be done. By saying that TQM will be applied, but no one doing effort for the same, nothing will happen. By saying that we'll apply balance scorecard, but the top management not making it part of the regular MIS reporting system, then nothing will happen. We need to change the process. But in order to change the process, we must have resources. Additional reporting time need to be spent. Additional money need to be spent. Additional ERP data need to be prepared. And in order to generate the capabilities, in order to create the resources, we took the support from the stakeholder itself. We asked them, sir, you want to fulfill your expectation, then you need to contribute something. So they will contribute. Supplier contribute with the timely material, worker contribute with the best effort, management contribute with the best guidance. Then obviously customer will buy from you, will get the value in the form of the product, you will get the money. Agreed? Now, this is the prism which has the 5 sides. We'll start with the first side. What is the first side? Stakeholder satisfaction. We need to satisfy the stakeholder. It says move to this side. In order to satisfy the stakeholder, what we need to do? We need to make the strategies. We make the strategy. It says move to this side. What will happen if we move to this side? This side of the prism? It says make the processes so that you can achieve the strategy. We make the processes. Now what will happen? Processes need to be implemented. For that, it says move here. It requires what? Capabilities. Capability is nothing but the resources. Man, material, machine, and so on. That is required. It says if you need to have capability, move to this side. This is your 5th one. Stakeholder contribution. We'll ask stakeholder, okay, provide this thing. Then we'll be able to meet your expectation. So base is what? Base is what? Base is of 3 elements. That is processes, capabilities, strategies, which help us to convert the stakeholder contribution into the stakeholder satisfaction. So I'm also weak in science, so that's why I'm teaching you in this manner. So the prism which is shown in your book are kept in this manner. Okay, it is kept in this manner. It is kept in this manner. So what it says, at the top, At the top of the prism, what do you have? You have stakeholder satisfaction. At the bottom of the prism, what do you have? You have stakeholder contribution. And then on the three vertical sides, what do you have? On one vertical side, you have strategies. On the another vertical you have processes. On the third vertical side, you have capabilities. I hope model is clear to you. What is a model? Model says, in order to achieve the stakeholders' expectation, you need to make strategy. In order to meet the stakeholder expectation, what you need to do? You need to break the strategy. In order to attain the strategy, you need to devise or define the processes. In order to attain the processes, perform the processes, you need to have resources. And in order to get the resources, you again move back to the stakeholder contribution. So this model is based upon the principle of quid pro quo. And this thing is mentioned in the chapter number 1 itself of the book, that will take contribution from the stakeholder, in return will fulfill their expectation by giving them the satisfaction. Agreed? On this, we'll need to solve the audio tape question. Obviously, I understand I'll understand that you may not be in a position to capture the question now, and we don't have a time. But don't worry, give me a minute so that we can recapitulate what we learn basically. Okay. Now read it along with me. And this thing similarly mentioned in the study material. Okay. There is a major limitation of balanced scorecard and performance pyramid, and that is it focuses majorly on the two stakeholders, the shareholder and the customer. The performance prism is try to overcome this problem because the performance prism framework considers the wide range of the stakeholder, including the activity and the community, the consumer, employees, legislature, the regulator, supplier, and so on. It means it's consider a variety of stakeholder, and it has a 5 focus area. What are those 5 focus area? This expectation of the stakeholders means how the stakeholder can be satisfied. What is the second area? The second area, what contribution you expect from them. The third area, what strategy you will make, what processes you will perform in order to attain the strategy, and what capabilities or the resources you require. Agreed? Now read this paragraph. This is quite important. Quite important. Performance prism like shareholder performance prism links shareholder contribution at the bottom of the prism with the stakeholder satisfaction at the top of the prism through the processes, strategy, and capability. That is nothing but the 3 vertical faces of the prism. It takes the shareholder requirement as a start point and then development of the performance measure rather than the strategy of the organization. It means what? You are understanding the stakeholder requirement not only to attain the strategy, but in order to improve the performance. So this model is not only measure the performance or evaluate the performance. This model actually improves the performance. And how it will improve the performance? By meeting the expectation of the stakeholder. And how it will meet the expectation of stakeholder? This thing I already explained to you here while teaching in the OneNote, that you need to do what? You need to identify the stakeholder whose demand is need to be met in all cases in order to be sustainable. If you ignore some stakeholder, he will disbalance the organization, and organization may shatter, may sit down, may collapse. So you need to consider the major stakeholder. Then the strategy need to be formed in order to meet the need. Then the processes need to be designed. The capabilities need to be arranged so that the process can be performed. And final, the stakeholder contribution. Basically, this is what we get from the stakeholder. This is what we return to the stakeholder. Now, this question, which we'll do in the next class, when you'll come back in Monday class, we'll start with this particular question. We'll not study the question, but we'll study the requirement so that you can gain the confidence. The first requirement, which is not related to chapter number 8, but some portion of this related to chapter number 4, hence I'm reading it. To identify and explain the various primary activity of the audio tech in the value chain. Also suggest if there any scope. Let me tell you, this question was tested in May 2019 as first compulsory question for 20 marks. Okay. For the cost reduction in these activities. So I'll tell you that how the cost can be reduced after reading the case, although there are 3 ways to reduce the cost. What are those 3 ways? The 3 ways are to reduce the cost are the implementation of JIT, focus on the logistic, and then cost of quality. Don't worry, we'll discuss it in the next class. Further, the recommend an alternate performance measurement mechanism. Alternate. Presently, this organization is using the balance scorecard. It is written in the fact of the case. Don't worry, we'll study the fact in the next class. They ask you for some alternate. Obviously, you'll highlight the limitation of balance scorecard and then start suggesting that performance prism can be applied. So they basically wish to know that how you will apply the performance prism to this particular case. Okay, so we'll solve this question in the next class. Now, if you have any question, I'll give you 2-3 minutes so that you can raise it, and then we'll solve this question in the next class, and then thereafterward, I'll take you to the triple bottom line. I'm expecting that a 5 marks question can be tested from the triple bottom line because a beautiful question given in the study material itself. So we'll solve this question as well, and then we'll move to this KPI and critical success factor relationship and start the benchmarking as well. Okay. Any question, friends? It's 9:03. I'll give you 2-3 minutes. You can type your question. Don't worry. Any of a question regarding this session? If some of time left to me in the Wednesday class, which is the last class for chapter 8, half an hour or 1 hour, you can no doubt take the queries from the previous chapter as well, which you've done along with me, chapter number 4 or 5. But if there will be no query, then I'll spend half an hour to revise entire chapter 8 along with you. So if any of a friend miss any class in between, then it must be, you can say that, foolproof for you. Any query, friends? Thank you, Chavi. Thank you, Deepa. Deepa, you can attend the remaining portion of session as well, because we covered the 3 models today: performance pyramid, then afterward to that building block, then just now we completed this performance prism, although we still need to solve the question. So I advise you to attend the remaining portion as well. Thank you, Preeti. Aman, I didn't get you basically. Thanks, but please call it. Aman from Delhi, I'm unable to get you. That's what you want to say. You need to be a bit elaborative because my skill are not that much good. Okay, friends, then it's bye. Very good night. Okay, so sign out for the day. We'll meet again on the Monday. My humble request, please read the question. And I'll try that I'll post the notes by tomorrow afternoon, so you have entire day of the this Sunday in order to read and prepare for you. If you ask me or willing that I'll share the additional resources which I show you during the lecture, like the research paper written by some person or the summary of the book, you can also ask me. Like you can send it in the query box. I'll also give it to the IT team and they will upload it on the this portal. Okay, friends. So bye for now. We'll meet again on a Monday. Bye everyone. Take care.